Today on Ricki Lake.
It's not like a 9-to-5 job.
Why are they proud to be prostitutes?
I have gone out of my way to educate myself thoroughly on safe sex. The money's great. I always have money for anything I want.
I love it. I mean, I'm getting sex and getting money at the same time.
You don't have to be a prostitute.
My sister is dead.
Keep this up, and you're going to have to learn that lesson. The longer you stay there, the harder it is.
Prostitution. It's said to be the oldest profession in the world. But why would anyone want to be a prostitute? Today, we will meet women and men who will tell us why they are proud to be prostitutes. Prostitute, they often picture a woman hanging out on street corners in bad neighborhoods and dark alleys. Someone who is ashamed and embarrassed by what you do. You probably wouldn't think that they are actually proud of being prostitutes. Well, not so fast. Meet Diane, Sherry, and Ann. They are all working prostitutes and proud of it. Diane, who is not using her real name, has been a prostitute for 5 years and says she has no qualms about having sex for money. Sherry has been a prostitute since she was 14 years old. She says she can separate sex from love and that prostitution is like a job just like anything else. And Anne, who also is not using her real name and is in a disguise. She's been a prostitute for just 7 months. She says that she is proud that she can support her son and not be on welfare. Well, first of all, thank you all for joining us. Diane, why are you proud to be a prostitute?
Well, I'm proud to be a prostitute because I've made a concentrated effort to do it in the best way that I possibly can. I've educated. I know you might think that's funny, but there are a lot of negative elements out there. One of the things that concerns me most is a lot of prostitutes are made victims. I have gone out of my way to educate myself thoroughly on safe sex and alternatives to sex, which I promote when I go and see a client. I educate all my clients on safe sex, and you would be surprised at how many men out there really have not the faintest clue on how to use condoms correctly.
So do you think they leave you after a session with you learning something?
Absolutely. I mean, I drill it into their head or I won't stay. I make all my own rules. I work for an out-call service. I book my own calls. I am totally safe because I employ various different methods to make sure that I'm safe. I've made a lot of money. I've put myself through school doing this. I've met some incredible people that have become very close friends and have made a big difference in my life. And I've had the chance to sit down and talk to world-famous scientists and doctors in the AIDS Research Center in the town where I live and ask them what they thought about my safe sex methods, and they said that they thought it was great.
But do you think it's degrading to women?
I think if you let yourself be degraded, I don't see how what someone does in the privacy of a hotel room or a home with another consenting adult can degrade somebody else who isn't even there. I don't see that.
Okay. Sherry, what about you? Why are you proud?
Tell you the truth, I'm proud because when I was 14, I became a prostitute, and that's the only way I know how to deal with everything. I'm now 19, and I've been a prostitute for a while, and the money's great. I always have money for anything I want. It gives me, like, more control over my life, and...
How does it give you control over your life?
Because I'm saying what goes. It's not like a 9-to-5 job. I'm going in, they're paying me for my services.
They're paying you for your services, but...
And I'm saying what goes. They want me, and they need me.
Why are you murmuring?
I don't think they do, or they wouldn't be paying her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going out on the streets and looking for guys. These guys come to me.
Okay, Ann, what about you?
I'm supporting myself and my son, and the money is great. I'm used to the way I'm living, and I love it. I mean, I'm getting sex and getting money at the same time. Oh yeah.
So you think you're doing better? You're doing better than most women.
Yeah.
So, but you're here today. You're saying you're proud to be a prostitute, yet you're not using your real name and you're in disguise. Why?
That's because to protect my mother. I mean, I don't want to embarrass her in front of anyone, and I'm not too much in disguise because I was going to wear a wig, but we decided not to.
Okay. If If it embarrasses your mother, why are you still proud of what you do?
Because I'm not on welfare, and I'm supporting my son. That's why.
Okay. Sherry, if you had to choose a different route, if you could have done something else, would you choose to do something else?
No, because that's the only way I know. This is what I was brought up as, and that's it.
This is the way you're
I don't
brought
know any
up.
other way.
Okay, yes, stand up.
I wanted to say a comment to the lady on the end. If she's so proud to be a prostitute, why is she in disguise?
Well, she just said that she's not in disguise. She was going to be in disguise, but you're not. But she did change her name just for the sake of her family.
Part of it, so, why does she,
Not to embarrass my mother. I've already said
See
that.
yourself, you have a son.
I'm embarrassing myself.
Exactly, you have a son.
I don't feel that I'm embarrassing myself. I'm out here speaking on what I believe in, and you don't have to
way of
pay me
making
for
Who's
my
going to feed her
services.
son?
There's lots. So I have 2 children, and I feed them.
What are you saying? You're saying there's other ways that you can make money and you...
Of course. You don't have to be a prostitute. I mean, you're going out with married men also.
And
what
I
do those
also
women
protect
think?
myself each and every time, ma'am.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
Please.
All right. Sherry, you said that you can separate sex from love?
Yeah.
Love?
Because I have boyfriends, and I won't have sex with a boyfriend. I'll just have sex with my clients. Because I'm waiting till I get married to have sex with a boyfriend.
Yes.
How did you become a prostitute at the age of 14? I mean, most people aren't even having sex at the age of 14.
I wasn't.
Nowadays, please.
There's plenty of 14-year-olds.
I met a man who made it.
Experimenting, but you're not like going out getting paid for sex at 14.
I met a man who made it out, told me how great it was being a 14-year-old girl when she sees all this money coming in, and it's just so easy to do.
Okay. Diane, you had a fiance?
Yeah, I'm engaged. I am engaged.
And how does your fiance feel about what you do?
He knows about it, and he's really supportive because he knows I'm putting myself through school and I'm preparing. I've got about 24 months left as far as that's my goal to be done, and I'll have enough money to pay for the rest of my schooling.
So, but wait a minute, you're here today saying you're proud of what you do, but yet you're going to be done with it? You want to get out of the business?
Well, it's not the most rewarding thing, and I'm a soc major too, and that's one of the things I decided. I've been a major in other communications and stuff before, and I decided on sociology because of my job as a prostitute. It made me want to be a sociologist.
Yes.
You guys got pimps or madams watching you?
No.
I do not. I do not. Absolutely not.
You have a pimp, Sherry?
Yes.
Okay, and you just said a little while ago that you don't believe in premarital sex.
No, I don't. There's a difference with having sex with a client and having sex with a boyfriend.
What's the difference?
It means something when you have a boyfriend. I've never been in love yet, so I don't know, like, love. I mean, I've been in lust with a boyfriend, but it's not the same as when I'm having sex with a client and I'm leaving. I'm not seeing the person again.
So do you have clients that on a regular basis, the same clients?
Not really. One or two, but most of them are just new ones.
And what about AIDS? Do you think about AIDS? Do you get tested on a regular basis?
Every 3 months I do.
Yeah, I get tested. I've had 5 in the last year because of some medical procedures I had, and I had to get tested again for that, but all the time.
Sherry?
Yeah, I have been tested.
Yes.
I have a question. What are you planning on doing, after you're not marketable anymore? How long can you make the money that you say you're making? Eventually you're going to wear out, and nobody's going to want to pay for your services.
Well, Diane says she wants to...
Yeah, I have plans for my future. I've always used this as a stepping stone. When I started, I came to the town that I moved to go to college and was disinherited, basically, cut off. And I had no way to pay for college. So I just said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get through school, and this is how I'm going to pay for it.
Sherry, what do you plan? Do you have...
I don't know what I'm going to do. I live on the edge. I have no idea what I'm going to do tomorrow.
I would imagine, in your profession, if you have to... Excuse me?
She's 19. She's got time to figure it out.
What'd you say, ma'am?
Lives.
She lives. Stand up, please. What do you want to say?
Oh, I just, want to say that's just a poor excuse. I used to walk the streets. I used to walk the streets, and I got off the streets because a lot of the people that were around me were dying from tricks, killing them. I have a girlfriend that got her throat slashed, her guts thrown up against the wall. A couple of months later, I got clean. I have a good job now. I have a car. I've been clean almost 4 years. Okay, it's just an excuse. All of it is an addiction. You're addicted to the money. There's other ways to get money.
It's not always all about that. That is not...
You're saying that the money is to get you through school. Well, what's the problem? There's no other way to get you through school?
Do you know how expensive college and an upper educational degree costs?
Yeah, of course.
It's very, very expensive.
How did you get off the streets?
I wanted to get off the streets.
So you have to want it? They've got to want it before...
There's a big difference between street walking, too, and escorting, because what I do
You're
is
still
safe.
prostituting.
Well, you know what? I
selling
more
your
or less
body.
don't have a problem with that. I don't.
You got
It's an
me.
honest profession.
All right, okay. Next up, two women who say prostitution is bad for society, and one of them is a former prostitute. We'll be right back.
The age-old concept of one vitamin fits all has just been one-upped. Introducing today's One-A-Day, the only multivitamin with a range of 5 scientifically balanced formulas for different needs. Now there's a One-A-Day for women with more calcium. 55 plus with extra antioxidants which may reduce cell damage. Plus 3 more formulas designed for who you are and how you live. Now the first name in vitamins introduces a new line of vitamins. One-A-Day. We've got the one for you.
For her. Jackie for her. Jackie for her. Oh, yeah. Jackie for her.
Uh-oh, the woman of your dreams. But what about your breath? Grab them. The only mints with that resin stuff for fresh, clean breath.
You're Sheila, right?
Right. How come she's laughing? Did she notice the soup on your tie?
When the day moves fast and you can't let heartburn slow you down, how you gonna spell relief? Calcium-rich Rolaids has more calcium than regular Tums. More of what it takes to stop heartburn fast. Calcium-rich Rolaids spells calcium-rich relief.
She's very impressionable. What she eats today can affect how she'll eat as she grows older. Teaching him to enjoy nutritious foods today is the first step to eating smart tomorrow. The first 24 months are the most impressionable, the most important to stay with Gerber. This is your baby's best chance to learn to enjoy so many foods. Gerber, for learning to eat smart right from the start.
Prostitutes who are proud of what they do and don't think they're hurting anybody. But not everyone agrees. Meet Raynetta. She was a prostitute for 7 years and is HIV positive. She says these prostitutes are fooling themselves if they think they can walk away from prostitution and not be damaged from it. And this is Jill Greenbaum. She is the executive director for the New Jersey Coalition Against Sexual Assault. She says prostitution is a form of sexual violence and is degrading to the individual and society. Thank you both for joining us. Raynetta, I'm going to begin with you. Tell us your story.
First of all, and I see a lot of young women out here who might be single mothers trying to go to school, and I am angry at these 3 people that they would sit here and tell women who are struggling and who are trying to find some hope in a world that's real desperate that this is a... Wait a minute, could you add your turn? And I will exclude you because you only represent a small percentage of women who are prostitutes. Not all of them have the opportunity to work at the level that you're working at.
That's because it's illegal.
Okay. All right. I don't care. Hold it.
If they legalize prostitution, there'd be in-call, out-call prostitution can be very safe And it doesn't have to be about all that.
It does not matter whether you're making 5 or 500. You are a prostitute.
I agree with you.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Listen. Just listen. You've had your say. I listened to what you said backstage. Now please hear me out. Okay? Prostituting, to offer oneself or another for sexual acts in return for pay. To devote oneself or one's talent to an unworthy cause. Now and I will say this, and I'm not condemning you because I've been in that position, but you can't tell me that having the things done to you that you have to have done to you is all right. I am not.
No, I say what is done to me. I say what's done to me, okay?
I want you to know that when you get ready to quit, you might be on welfare now, but I'm going to give you a...
I'm not on welfare.
We're going to roll the tape. If you're making that kind of money, we're going to roll the tape. The abuse, the constant pounding of your body, not taking care of yourself, not eating right, the stress of this job, having some man's hand on the back of your head all night. You don't get to call shots nowhere at Burger King. I tell you. If you are making enough money to support yourself, your children, put yourself through school, I don't care if you're living in a penthouse on Fifth Avenue. When you are there by yourself, you are with yourself, and you will remember. And don't tell me that this is a victimless crime. It is. It is. The victim is your child, and whether you know it or not, you think right now because you got a child and you're doing this, I don't know where it is, but you know, 2 days ago I got to see my children for the first time in 4 years. And I had to answer some real tough questions. And if you think that, you know, this is society, just, kind, fair, forgiving, I want to see you have to get out of this business or get hurt out there and have to go to somebody and ask for a job. You explain what you've been doing for the last 5 years.
All right.
And see if you get hired. You are the exception.
I know that.
The lady on the end is the exception. But for the rest of us, because most prostitutes do not reach that level where they can get that kind of money.
They don't realize that it's available to them, though, and they don't realize because they get victimized.
What kind of money are we talking about?
Wait a minute, but see, then, too, in the place where she's doing this, it's a pick-and-choose basis. It's almost like a cattle call for models. And if you don't have the look, the size, or whatever, you don't get that position.
There's plenty of girls that do what I do that aren't very attractive, and they make just as much money as I in their 40s or whatever.
I can make $1,000 in one night for one guy. Most people don't make that in a month.
And you said that you didn't know the difference. You didn't know the difference between sex and love, and I have to wonder.
You didn't
wait a minute. You can differentiate. Excuse me. You can differentiate.
You said yourself that you've never been in love.
That's what I'm talking about. She was out in the streets at 14 as a prostitute. She never had any love in the first place, so I can forgive her for that. The longer you stay out there, the more difficult it is to make that transition because the behavior has become ingrown.
How did you make that transition, Renetta?
A day at a time. Thank you, sister. A day at a time. And it is difficult. I'm in a relationship now with a wonderful man. I went to therapy. I had the opportunity to work on me. And there were times when I wasn't working and this man had to support me. And my way of saying thank you was sex until he stopped me. I did it one time. Just one. And he stopped me. I didn't know how to take something from somebody without giving them something back. And all I thought I had to offer was what was between my legs. Keep this up, and you're going to have to learn that lesson. The longer you stay there, the harder it is.
Okay, Jill, let Jill speak.
Me, okay? So I don't have a problem with that.
You're not the norm anyway. You're not the norm.
But it doesn't have to be as bad as it is. It doesn't
You're not
have
the
to
norm.
be
You're
that
still
way.
a prostitute. You know, I don't care how much money you make.
I don't have a problem. I like me. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, let Jill speak. Jill, what do you want to add?
Basically, if you think you're calling the shots, and to some degree you may be, you're still involved in, it's not just money for sex. It has to do with degrading yourself, degrading other human beings.
You're being degraded.
You may not feel degraded now. Of course, you have to defend the lifestyle that you've got. You're going to fight back with anything.
As a matter of fact,
but that's what you're here doing.
Well, you know what? One of the reasons, the main reason why I'm here is because I don't like to see the bad things that happen to prostitutes because they're victimized by society. We go and tell them they're no good. I'm a social major, okay? We tell them, and we make them an easy target. We make them a victim.
Nobody tells you that you're not good.
I'm sorry, but these people are not exactly in love with us, okay?
Hold it. When I got to where I was 3 years ago, I had to get naked, all right? I had to get out from under all of the garbage, all the images, all the lies, and all the denial, okay? And I had to get naked and take a look at me. Society ain't victimizing you. Ain't nobody put you out there.
They're not victimizing. You put yourself out there.
You put yourself out there.
Exactly. A prostitute has no rights. You go and you see a girl who gets murdered on the streets because she works for a pimp. She's got no protection. She's got, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Okay, and then protection if you're the victim of a crime. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a society which is willing to put up with the commerce of this. We see this in our supermarkets. You see it in video stores.
Yeah,
it's
girls
about
get raped whether they're prostitutes or not. Girls get raped. And it has nothing to do with that.
Don't put words in my mouth. I'm not saying women get raped because of prostitutes. Never would I say that because I know I've worked with prostitutes that have been raped, and I know there's a difference between prostitution and rape. What I'm saying is that this is degrading to human beings. This is not about relationships.
Why is it degrading if it's behind closed doors? If it's done...
It's degrading? Why?
Between two consenting adults.
The person that you're going to ultimately hurt the most is you and your son,
and
your daughter.
Hang on, you guys. I need to take a break. Next, if you think only women are prostitutes, you are wrong. When we come back, we will talk to men who are prostitutes, and they are proud of it, too. We'll be right back. On the next Ricki Lake.
Question.
Why continue family feuds?
You my sister. I'm not going to fight you like I would anybody else.
Can you relate?
I want to be with my sister. I have another sister. Ain't none of us close.
My dad doesn't believe in that. He doesn't believe in, living with each other before marriage.
You said that she's broken your heart forever? You're not listening to your daughter, and she's sitting here crying. What do you want your dad to know?
I just want my dad back.
On the next Ricki Lake. Who are proud of their profession. So far, all the prostitutes we have met have been women. But if you thought it was only women who are proud to be prostitutes, you're wrong. Meet Byron and Dwight. They are both prostitutes and proud of it. Byron has been a prostitute for 2 years. He says he is proud of it because it makes him feel good to help other people. Dwight has been a prostitute for 4 years and says he is proud to be a prostitute because some women are very lonely and he is providing a service. Thank you both for joining us. Byron, you feel good helping other people, then why don't you work with cancer patients in a hospital?
Very good question, Ricki. Reason being is that, not to be modest or anything like that, but I've been told I'm more or less a womanizer. And I kid you not, I'm very particular about a woman's needs. I got into this field because I've got a soft side to me. And I can...
So wait, when you mean womanizer, you mean as a compliment?
No, basically women tell me that I'm someone... See, I don't only get paid for sex. A woman can pay me for my services if she just wants to talk, basically. So it's not... I kid you not. I've had women call me just because I can listen to them. $100. Just to talk. What happens after that? No, really.
Okay, but some of the women do want more than just talking.
Definitely. I used to work for an escort service, and they were getting 40%. I was getting 60%, and I decided that this was something that I could handle on my own. And I've got a lot of repeat clients. I don't plan to be in this forever. I've got a 2-year-old daughter.
Okay, So, but of course, you must practice safe sex.
To be totally honest with you, I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
Yes, Renetta? You want to respond to the no safe sex?
See, because...
I didn't know what you're responding because you have AIDS, so obviously you didn't use safe sex.
And the next time, wait a minute. You know what?
Thank you.
I'm responsible. Hold it. I'm responsible for that. I'm not hiding behind nothing, and I knew when I came up here that I had a message to give. I'm a survivor, and I'm not blaming this on anybody. But the next time you sneeze, hold it, next time you sneeze around me, please move, because I don't have an immune system, and I don't want you killing me. Next.
You're killing yourself. You put it on yourself.
Next. I'm getting back to Byron here saying that, no, he doesn't. And Byron is going to tell you that the women that he sleeps with, I know this, and this is the biggest lie. The Nile is not a river in Egypt, okay? He's going to tell a lie and say that the women that he goes out with are healthy and rich. Brothers like you, I want you to know it was more of y'all dying of AIDS this year. It was more black people, black men, 25 to 44, made up almost half of the people that got diagnosed and died with AIDS this year. Just because a woman makes money doesn't mean that she doesn't have AIDS. And you are playing with Russian roulette with your life and everybody else.
But,
ain't no but.
No, there is a but.
Ain't no but.
I make sure all my clients are screened as far as an AIDS test is concerned.
How can you look at somebody and tell whether they got AIDS or not?
Babe, paperwork. Show me. Test the
Yeah, but what if
results.
they had it in the
But that's only as good as their
it's gotta
last
be
partner.
I beg your pardon?
What if they got it
The
the day
AIDS test is
before?
only as good as their last
You know how
partner.
long this disease can stay in your system
Yes, I do.
before it's detected?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
All right. Okay, let me get to Dwight. Dwight, how did you get involved in prostitution?
My wife got me in prostitution.
Your wife?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, my wife is sick. She has a disease. And since she told me once I have the sexual libido to power a large metropolitan area for millennia, she told me that one of her friends were sitting and they said, well, I'd like to find out how your husband is in bed. And sure enough, she said it'll cost you $100 to find out.
And that's how you got involved.
And that's how I got started.
Your wife is here today. Let's hear what she has to say. How do you feel about your husband being a prostitute?
Well, just like any other business, we discussed it, started it, and I know a lot of you are with your eyes here and ears, but none of you have been 5 days in the hospital and it's cost $10,000 either. And if you didn't do that, then we can't file bankruptcy every year, and I'm in there every year.
So it's basically you do it for the money.
Yeah,
if you were rich, you wouldn't be doing this.
Right. I feel that if I wasn't out there doing what I do on the weekends, she would not be with me in New York today. There's no way.
All right. We need to take a break. Next up, a woman who found out that her husband had been going to a prostitute for 10 years after she got herpes from him. We'll be right back.
Where can you find the finest home furnishings, deep discounted every day? Prestige Furniture. Three-piece sectional with side-by-side dual recliners, a lifetime warranty, and a sleeper with innerspring mattress, just $13.02. Cherry occasional tables, choice of oval, cocktail, rectangular, and or round end, an unbelievable $92. Knightsbridge by Universal, cherry rice bed with rails, only $5.95. Guaranteed low prices, 90 days interest-free, fast delivery. I-35 at Valley View exit 1 mile north of 635. Remember Prestige Furniture, where friends send friends.
Oh, another beggar. I hate this. Oh, it's for homeless veterans. Well, he doesn't look homeless. Probably wants beer money. But Vietnam, all right, a buck won't break me. Oh, here he comes. Come on, light change. Maybe if I don't look at him.
Where do your donations really go?
Live by drugs and have wild parties with women.
Public Defender Sabrina Smith investigates the masterminds of this local veterans organization. Should you give or drive away from the Stoplight Veterans? Thursday night at 10 on Channel 5.
We'd like to make a little boast concerning what we do the most. At Buy Owner, it's easy for you.
Unbelievable. It really works. Thank you, Buy Owner. We sold our home.
And saved over $8,000.
Thank you, Buy Owner.
We found our home. Great school. Great neighborhood. Thanks, Fiona.
At Fiona, it's easy for you.
Call now. Sometimes you get a craving for great classic rock. 92.5 KZPS plays 45 minutes of commercial-free classic rock every hour. When you need classic rock, only one radio station gives you 45 minutes commercial-free every hour. 92.5 KZPS, Dallas-Fort Worth's only all-classic rock station.
Driving on today's highways can be downright dangerous. High speeds, congestion, and negligent drivers can't help but cause accidents.
If you've been injured in an auto accident, you need the help of an experienced attorney.
You need Reyes and Carlson.
We'll protect your rights and get you the money you deserve for your medical bills, lost wages, and your pain and suffering.
And you don't pay anything until your case is settled.
You deserve more.
Don't settle for less. Call Reyes and Carlson today at 526-7900.
Do you want to confront your family member who tried to kill you? If so, call and you could be a guest on The Ricki Lake Show. Call 1-800-906-0021 or 212-889-7465. You wanted to respond to some things that were said?
Well, I just wanted to point out, she said that I'm the exception over here, as if my viewpoint doesn't seem to matter. But the point I'm trying to make is I don't have to be the exception, okay? Prostitution doesn't have to be conducted badly. It is a business. Like anything else, it can be mismanaged. And the problems I've had associated with it were always because of mismanagement. People weren't doing their job. They didn't care about what was going on. And since I started employing certain methods, I have not had any problems whatsoever. I have never been beaten by a client, I'm molested in any way.
And you think that legalizing prostitution is going to cut down on the amount of abuse in relationships?
Look at Nevada.
Yeah, look at Nevada.
Look in Nevada. In the bordellos there, they've had no transmission of AIDS. None of the girls get beaten. They may, I mean...
So it's
I wouldn't want to work in a bordello.
Relationships between people. You get to give money to someone to do whatever it is that they want you to do.
But you whatever. We have a choice. I have a choice.
Cleaning and everything else.
You're giving me money for sex. Degrading other people, exposing
everybody. A man so lonely, he was crying, telling you how lonely he was.
Certainly.
Okay, hang on. Let me ask you all, are most of your clients married?
Actually, I have half and half about now. More and more single young men who are afraid to date and don't have the time to put time into relationships.
Okay, let me get your comment quickly.
It bothers me that you can sit up here and say that you are going to college, and the only way that you can go to college is by prostitution.
I'm not saying that's the
Wait a
only
minute,
way.
let me finish.
I'm not saying that's the only
I
way.
grew up in a very poor section of South Carolina. We didn't have lights and water for like 3 or 4 months at a time. I have my BS degree in psychology, and I'm going to get my master's degree in counseling psychotherapy. And wait a minute. You have a choice.
Yeah, but that's not for everyone.
I am talking. You
But
listen.
I don't have a
You
moral
have a
problem
choice.
with
Sartrean. Do you know who Sartre is? Sartre
Yes, I
says
am.
you do have a choice. You choose to be a prostitute to support yourself. Fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But keep in mind, you will affect someone in your life, and if you have children, they will be affected. I know personally of a little girl who's now an adult, who's a friend of mine, who was raped by her mother's trick. So you tell me, it will affect somebody.
Tricks home.
Whatever,
I don't have
trick,
children. I'm not on
John,
drugs.
whatever, it still applies. And it bothers me that you can sit up there and say
And
that's your only
with
choice.
less than 25% of my clients, too, and I promote alternatives to sex all the time to them.
How can you
No.
sit there
You
and
don't
tell
buy
us what we do in our lives, okay? Because you are not in my other apartment with me, and you're not anywhere.
Let me tell you something. I don't care if I was on welfare and had 10 children and I had only one loaf of bread to feed them for the rest of their lives. I am more of a person than you will ever be.
Please meet Susan. Susan was happily married when she found out she had developed herpes. She not only found out that her husband had been unfaithful to her, but that he had been going to prostitutes for 10 years. She says prostitution has cost her all of her hopes and dreams. And sitting next to Susan is her daughter, Joyce. Joyce said it's because of prostitutes that everything she had grown to love about her family was torn apart. Thank you for joining us. Susan? What do you want to say to Diane and Sherry and Ann?
I think what I'd like to say to them is that you do hurt somebody. And you stand and you sat here, and I've been backstage listening, you say you don't hurt anybody. Your profession ruined my life. And
I didn't sleep with your husband, sweetheart.
You're sleeping with someone.
You are sleeping with somebody.
Does your husband know what protection is?
Do you understand?
I understand. Blaming the breakup of your marriage on prostitutes is like blaming a telephone pole you ran in with your car for the accident that you had. Okay, there was something fundamentally wrong with your relationship,
sweetheart.
It's not about sex, it's about power and control.
You know what I think? If these people are out with us, then something's definitely wrong at home.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
That's not true.
It's a happy family.
She said,
Well, why would you keep it around?
Hang on, one at a time. One at a time.
He divorced you.
I divorced him.
Well, there you go.
And the reason, prostitution doesn't have anything to do with relationships. There is no relationship involved in prostitution.
Yeah. Did I
Somebody
say it was?
Yes, you're saying
No,
that
I
there's
did
a
not.
fundamental problem in
No, I did
relationship.
not. Pay for it?
A man paying for sex has absolutely
You shut
nothing
up.
to do with a relationship
He
with
wouldn't have to pay
you.
for it if you were taking care of it.
But it's not. So wait a minute. Let me get what you're saying. Are you
Not
saying
about
you
that.
blame her for her husband sleeping with a prostitute?
If a man is out sleeping with a prostitute, I feel if he was taken care of at home, there would be no need for it.
But it's not being taken care of. It's
As
not
far as
about
sex
sex.
is concerned,
You know what?
as far as sex is concerned,
Sex is sex. It has nothing to do
I
with
want to say
relationship.
something. My hometown is very small. It's in Central Florida, rural, farming, phosphate, okay? When I started to do this, my first trick was because I was working. And I don't want to sit here and let anybody think that I didn't have the opportunities. I was honorably discharged from the Army. I got out as a staff sergeant. I have 15 years in pharmacy and an undergraduate AA degree in sociology. That was before prostitution, all right? So I don't want to hear those excuses about you can't do it. This thing about the men in my hometown, I wouldn't turn a trick with a black man because y'all cheat. Cheat. And I don't want to put y'all down, but a black man going to a prostitute wants it, he wants it, he wants it, and he ain't gonna pay very much for it. Okay?
All right.
And I thought that if I picked a man who was white, respectable, and rich,
Like most
that
of my
I would be
clients.
safe, like most of his.
And she's
You know?
HIV positive.
And I'm HIV positive. In a small Southern Baptist Christian right side town. It had nothing to do with the fact that they wasn't getting it at home. Nothing. It was the fact that they were there for me to do something that they couldn't do at home, or their wives were too nice to do it.
communicate with your
All
spouse
right?
then.
It had nothing to do with that.
Communication.
All right.
It had nothing to do with
Next, a
it.
woman whose sister was a prostitute and was killed by a serial killer. Don't go away.
Lose weight and learn how to keep it off at Weight Loss Centers of Texas.
And I've lost 30 pounds.
I've lost 37 pounds.
2 pounds a week, 3 pounds a week. I've lost about 85 pounds. All the way up to 150 pounds, even more.
The one-on-one.
The one-on-one counseling, they're not just counselors. Keep you going. It's really easy to stick with it. They end up being your friend.
For the guaranteed lowest cost, call Weight Loss Centers of Texas, 1-800-231-1992.
This is a message for all women who have had silicone breast implants. Implants have been linked to the cause of autoimmune disease, lupus, arthritis, cancer, and other complications. If you feel you're a victim of silicone breast implants, call me. My name is Sherry, and I'm a paralegal at the law office of Jeffrey D. Slachter. Call the law office of Jeffrey D. Slachter at 748-0503.
Where can you find the finest home furnishings, deep discounted every day? Prestige Furniture. 3 looks, 1 price. Modern, refined black millennium dining. The understated elegance of Tiffany Mist. Stoughton Court for timeless beauty and classic design. Your choice, table, 4 chairs, and leaves, now only $13.92. Guaranteed low prices, 90 days interest-free, fast delivery. Prestige Furniture. I-35 at Valley View exit 1 mile north of 635. Remember, Prestige Furniture, where friends send friends.
Oh, goody. Look at that. Could it be? It is. It's Six Flags.
Come to the most fantastic season ever of thrills, chills, and spine-tingling excitement. Ride backwards on Judge Roy's Scream and feel your heart pound. Discover a whole universe of 9 exciting theme lands of fun, including Looney Tunes Land that's not a galaxy away.
My, it's so thrilling. I must go there now.
Zip over to Six Flags. It's a world of fun.
Not a world away.
Right now, bring a Coca-Cola product. Save $6 off a regular one-day admission.
Okay, wild one or mild one? Looks mild, but, dressed sort of wild. Wild or mild? Ever read those letters to Josephine? Mild. Next. Looks mild, plays wild. Sometimes you can't tell the wild ones from the mild ones, like Popeye's big new chicken tenderloins. They're both all white meat, but the wild ones are hot and spicy. And the mild ones are light and juicy. So come to Popeye's and see which is mild and which is wild.
Do you want to confront your spring break fling? If they haven't contacted you since that spring break and you want a chance to speak your mind, call and you could be a guest on The Ricki Lake Show. Call 1-800-906-0021 or 212-889-7465. We're back talking to prostitutes who are proud of their profession and people who are completely opposed to prostitution. What did you want to say?
First, I have 2 comments. One for Renetta and Byron, I believe. For both of you to be 2 black people, it's a slap in the face to black, white, people, society at all. You say all black men are cheap. You're dealing with cheap men, understand? Tricks. So you can't say black men in general to begin with. And my brother, you have a 2-year-old child and you're selling yourself cheap. Sex without condoms. First of all, you need to wake up. This is 1994, not 1724, okay?
Joyce, you didn't really get to say much in the last segment. I just wanted to hear your point of view. What do you have to say to our prostitutes
I have
today?
one thing to say is they said that they didn't sleep with my father, but they're sleeping with someone's father. And
Not all the time.
hold on a minute.
Not all the time.
My dad was my hero. He was my hero figure. And when I found out that he slept with prostitutes, that hurt me worse than anything else in the whole world.
You're not capable of forgiving him for that?
I have forgave him, and I love my dad now very much, and we have a very good relationship. But
Your mom ain't
it
married to
hurt
him still. Ain't no good
so
relationship there.
bad. Yeah, I have a relationship with my father. Yes, I do.
You have a good relationship, a good family unit, nice
I
together.
have a wonderful relationship with my father, and I have a wonderful relationship with my mother.
Do you
And yes,
ever
it's
think
hard.
of the families when you're sleeping with these men and
That's why
women?
I get checked every 3 months, and I do wear a condom every time, Ricky.
And you know what, me? I've got a lot of respect for a married woman.
All right.
I do.
Okay.
I kid you not, I do.
All right, Byron.
I do.
Excuse me, let me introduce my next guest. Meet Carol. Carol's 25-year-old sister, Sandy, was a prostitute and was killed by a serial killer. Now, I know this is very difficult for you, but you are here today because you don't want your sister to have died in vain.
Exactly.
What do you want to say?
And I have something for Ann, the one that has a little boy. My sister left 2 little boys. The youngest was 2.5 years old. The oldest was 3.5. How can you turn around and say that you get checked every time and not have any type of a disease coming through, or that you are saved? I don't care if you're seeing high-class men that are paying high-class top money. There was lawyers and everybody involved with my sister. My sister is dead. Within 6 years, she's gone. And she wasn't out there that long. And I have a niece that will be 25 years old in November. That's still out there missing. Don't you ever think that something like that could happen to you?
I'm not
Or
gonna
to your,
say-
or to your
I'm not
child?
gonna- you asked me a question. I'm not going to say that nothing like that couldn't happen to me. But
Then
I
how
do
can
the
you
best
still be
I
out there?
can. I do the best I can to protect myself and protect
But
my
you're not
son.
protecting your child, because how can you still be out there doing it when God knows maybe this week, next week or something, you may be the next one that's murdered?
I'm waiting for the child.
What is your child going to do without a mother? What is your child going to do without a mother? I have two nephews that don't have their mother.
For her child to get old enough to go to school and somebody run up in that child's face and say, you know what your mama is?
Exactly.
I want to hear her explain that. And see, with women that have children who are prostitutes, this is a difficult thing. I'm free. I can say this, and I've owned all of this. It took me 3 years to own what I did. The biggest victims for prostitutes who are mothers are the children, because you put those children in a position to have to defend you and still love you. You put them in a position to have people come up, and small children can be cruel to other children.
How do your children know how to handle what you did?
Ooh.
Gotcha.
Ooh. I have a 14-year-old daughter who was molested. And she's a brilliant child. She's intelligent. She makes straight A's. My 10-year-old son is angry and goes into rages. And he's angry at everybody. But the hard part is that they don't want to hate us because we're mom, and they love us. But how do you defend somebody when people are running up telling you what they're doing? And you're going to have to live with that.
All right.
Serious, and
okay.
it's not easy.
As we're going to break, we are going to show a picture of your niece who is still missing. If you have any information, please contact the number. We'll be right back. Family Feuds, can you relate?
I want to be with my sister. I have another sister. Ain't none of us close.
On the next Ricki Lake.
I went in for an answering machine and found something that speaks for itself. Come see the softer side of Sears.
It's a dirty job, but when you gotta do it right with Easy Off Oven Cleaner. No oven cleaner works faster or better. They guarantee it. Easy Off Oven Cleaner gets the dirty work done. Guaranteed.
You know what the greatest nation in the world is, don't you? Dole Nation.
Simon Wilder is a scholar of the streets.
Are you a student? No, I'm a bum. But bear in mind, I'm a Harvard bum.
Who gives 4 Harvard students
We're roommates and we respect each other's space.
a reason to open their hearts.
If a woman is willing to give you her love, it's the greatest gift in the world.
Joe Pesci, Brendan Fraser, Moira Kelly,
That boy didn't go to Harvard for nothing.
with honors, rated PG-13. Starts Friday, April 29th.
They said going to the moon couldn't be done. And they said fluoride with baking soda and peroxide in one tube of toothpaste couldn't be done. But Triplex did it. Triplex with the benefits of fluoride with baking soda and peroxide in one tube of toothpaste. And Triplex gives you healthy-looking teeth and gums.
And great taste.
Triplex did it. Fluoride with baking soda and peroxide all in one tube of toothpaste.
There are a lot of reasons why women go to the new Cosmopolitan Lady.
The daycare is a marvelous daycare. I feel very comfortable bringing my 3-year-old in. When I moved back, I right away just came right to Cosmopolitan Lady because I knew what I would be getting. I knew what to expect. And I knew they'd been around for a while. And I knew there were some other clubs that weren't still here that were here when I left.
Join now and receive this summer free. Call 1-800-68-COSMO.
So many times I hear how people who've been injured in an accident feel they're getting the runaround by the insurance companies. This is why it's important to have good, qualified representation as soon as possible. What you need to remember is that the person whose fault the accident was immediately has a team of people, investigators, adjusters, and lawyers behind them who are working to get the best possible result for the insurance company. This is why good representation is important because, after all, you've already been hurt once. You don't need to get hurt again.
what do you want to say?
I have a question for her. How could you say...
Which her? Raynetta?
No, the one with the baby, the little kid.
Ann.
Yeah. How could you say you're doing it for your son when you, like she said, you could be the next one who catches AIDS or who dies?
A 4.5-hour job does not pay the rent. It does not
doesn't
bring
matter.
food. Yes, it does matter. Yes, it does.
You don't, but you could be dead or something. You can get AIDS and you won't be there to support your kid.
It's all
That's
good.
what matters.
It's all good. I can if I wanted to.
One at a time,
I can
please.
if I wanted to, though.
That's right.
Okay?
Okay, hang on,
That's
yes.
all right. It's all good.
What's his name? I don't know your name.
Byron.
Byron. Yeah.
I think that's real messed up, man, because you got a little daughter and she
But you
gonna
know
come
what?
up.
It's
you know
not
what I'm saying?
messed up, man, because you see, as far as the other people are concerned, I don't consider myself a prostitute, a male escort, okay? Now, wait a minute. What I mean by that, it can be. It can be. I don't sleep with, I'm not standing on Hollywood Boulevard waiting for this chick to come by or that chick to come by. I date married, widowed, lonely women.
What would you do if your daughter,
sex,
what if you do if your daughter grew up to do that?
I beg your pardon?
What would you do? How would you feel if your daughter grew up to be a prostitute or to be an escort, as you call it?
But you see what?
Her choice.
That would be her choice.
Would you
like it? No, there would be nothing.
Okay,
Of
let me
course
just
she
paint
won't.
another
She
picture.
won't.
Okay, let's say she grows up. It's her choice. She decides to become an escort, as you call it, and she decides to not practice safe sex.
Oh, well, see, I would definitely emphasize on the safe sex. Yeah.
But how can you emphasize something that you won't
Because
practice
you see,
yourself?
what you guys don't understand is that I've only been in this field for about 2 years now.
It only
and
takes
I
one
have
time.
Exactly. I've got a lot of repeat clients, and I make sure that the ones I do sleep with are you know, HIV negative.
It's not a field.
Exactly.
I have something to say here.
I can't find a condom to fit me.
I have something to say.
Yes, Joyce. Joyce, yes, what do you want to say?
I want to
They
tell...
don't come in extra large.
I want to tell you that when your daughter gets my age, she will love you because she is your father, but she will have absolutely no respect for you.
What do you want to say quickly?
I think all of you are tired and you disgust me as being human beings. I can just spit on everyone. You're nasty.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
I have some really strong reasons to take good care of my health. Yeah, it sure takes a lot of energy to keep up with me, Mom. And your dad, plus your sisters, and my job. That's why I take Made for Women every day. Its special formula of vitamins, minerals, and herbs is made to order for busy women like me. Hey, Mom, is there a Made for Men? Yes, Dad takes it, and soon you will, too.
Made for Women and Made for Men from Action Labs.
This isn't some TV, Mom. This is my real mom, and I love her.
Introducing the No Diet Diet. Eat what you like and lots of it and still lose all the weight you want. Only at Weight Loss Centers of Texas. Gina Bell lost weight and she's keeping it off thanks to the No Diet Diet. Call Weight Loss Centers of Texas and get the guaranteed lowest cost. We beat any competitor's price, pound for pound, easily. Weight Loss Centers of Texas. Easy, fast, proven results and learn how to keep the weight off. Call 1-800-231-1992.
Children are like seeds. If you nurture and shower them with love, they will blossom into beautiful people. That's what the Scott's Kids Big Brothers and Sisters program is all about. If you'd like to help a little one grow to meet his potential, stop by Grandy's or Tom Thumb and pick up one of these Scott's Kids flyers. Or watch the Scott's Kids segments Monday nights at 10 on Channel 5. Help a child flourish. Adopt a big brother or sister today. Brought to you by Grandy's, Fort Worth Cavalry Arena Football, Tom Thumb, and Channel 5.
After an accident, you're faced with so many questions. How do I pay for a doctor? What about the time I'm missing from work?
How can I get a rental car? And what's a fair settlement value?
And most importantly, how do I choose a lawyer?
When you need the help of an experienced personal injury law firm, call Reyes & Carlson. We'll make sure you get every penny you deserve.
And you will pay nothing unless your case is successful.
You deserve more.
Don't settle for less. Call Reyes & Carlson today at 526-7900.
Do you want to confront your family member who tried to kill you? If so, call and you could be a guest on The Ricki Lake Show. Call 1-800-906-0021 or 212-889-7465. Just from the few women and men we have spoken to today, it is clear that people become prostitutes for lots of different reasons. This isn't a topic we can sum up in a few words, but I do hope that all of my guests who do not practice safe sex will start to today, and those who already do will continue to. Sex is not something that anyone should ever die for. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Promotional fees have been paid by the following.
New St. Ives Swiss Formula Papaya Plus. The gentle shampoo plus conditioner in one for naturally beautiful, healthy hair. New St. Ives Swiss Formula Papaya Plus. Look years younger now. Sudden Change Under Eye smooths away the appearance of wrinkles and puffiness instantly. Not a makeup. Lasts for hours. Sudden Change at drugstores everywhere.
If you've been seriously injured in an accident, the law limits the time you have to take legal action.
Call the Injury Helpline,
1-800-848-1250.
The time may be running out.
Archway, the good food cookie. Delivered fresh to your store. Taste the difference Archway bakes, and taste the difference freshness makes.
If you live in the New York area or are planning to visit, be a part of our studio audience. For free tickets, write 401 Fifth Avenue, New York, New York, 10016, or call 212-889-7091.